So how do you make millions in an industry where 60% of new businesses fail within the first year? For one restaurant chain founder, the answer was literally location, location, location. He had to close 3 of his first steakhouse joints because of poor placement. And since then, he has personally and methodically scouted every single spot. Nearly 500 locations and more than $1 billion in sales later, he's figured out how to beef up business. His story in tonight's How I Made My Millions.
Hearty steaks, killer ribs, ice-cold beer. It's a winning formula for Texas Roadhouse, the lively restaurant chain with $1.9 billion in annual sales that's been serving up food and fun for more than 20 years.
Hello, how would you like your sirloin steak cooked?
And the man who created it all from scratch is Kent Taylor.
How y'all doing?
Whose introduction to the food industry happened 40 years ago in his hometown of Louisville, Kentucky.
That's looking good. I started working in the restaurant business in high school as a busboy, so a long time, since I was 18.
Taylor worked his way up to a waiter, a bartender, and eventually held management positions at chains like TGI Fridays, Bennigan's, and KFC.
I learned that food quality matters. In the early days, I won't say which concepts I worked for, but the food maybe wasn't so good.
So he began cooking up plans for his own place. He sketched out early ideas, where else? On a cocktail napkin in 1992, and then went looking for investors.
There's a story that you approached some big investors like John Y. Brown at
Sure.
KFC.
Absolutely.
And what did he tell you?
No. I would say all told, I got turned down over 100 times. I ended up getting 3 doctors to start me out at Texas Roadhouse.
In February 1993, Taylor opened the first Texas Roadhouse in Clarksville, Indiana, with others following soon after. By the end of its first year, Texas Roadhouse had served more than 250,000 guests.
I like about a 6-second read from an interstate or a main drag.
6-second read, meaning you can see the establishment for 6 seconds.
On a scouting trip in Newburgh, New York, Taylor looks for a location with just the right ingredients for success.
A medium-sized city that has a university, a military base. We're on the interstate, and all the stores that we would compete with are doing above their national average.
Who gives you the best information?
Bartenders.
Bartenders will tell you whether the location is doing well or not.
Typically, yeah. You give them a big tip. You know, no telling what comes out of their mouth.
On average, each Texas Roadhouse feeds between 5,000 and 6,000 customers a week, with an average ticket price of more than $15. That places the restaurant price-wise right in between Applebee's and Outback Steakhouse.
What are the details that make you different, better, more successful?
I would say that number one thing is we cut our own meat in-house. We make our dressings from scratch. We even grate our own cheese.
Bringing that simple concept to customers around the world has been Taylor's life's work. 50,000 employees work at 485 restaurants worldwide, and Taylor has no plans to slow down.
I think we can do 700 plus in the States, and internationally, who knows?
Interestingly, Taylor doesn't advertise the success of his restaurant chain. In fact, he doesn't advertise much at all. He prefers that his managers do their marketing within their own home communities, which allows him to spend more money on food quality and zero on a national advertising campaign.
What a character.
Don't expect to see him advertising on the Super Bowl.
No, I don't think so, but he doesn't need to at this point.
Really careful. He goes for mid-sized towns,
Right.
off the beaten path, not in the major metros.